song it took me years to write, but will not take too long. It's based on a sonnet by a man named Kit, and I need a patron, so I long to be a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. 'Tis a lovely saga of a noble knight, and his lady's love keeps him up at night. His son's a lowly squire just dragging swords. 'Tis a steady job, but he longs to be a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel, minstrel. Dang it. Really? 'Tis 100 verses, give or take a few, or I will get that opening in a year or two. I can make it Latin if you like the sounds. Et putus susamet, and I long to be a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. If you do enjoy it, I can sing it there. I get so tired of wandering from fair to fair. If you must return and send it to the king, he'll just put his name on it and call himself a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel. I think we may be having some technical issues here that are not my fault. We'll see. I'm going to check something real quick here, gang. I'm going to check to see if it's actually feeding or if it's saying, please wait, we don't know what we're doing. Actually, can I tell? I can't tell because it's trying to play it live or something. Nobody even knows. Ah, there we go. All right, it does seem to be working again. That's odd. Nope, the video has ended. Nope. Oh, yep. I assure you we're running. Wow. That's weird. Okay. We just had, do we have a West Coast bobble here? Looks like we might have. Well, okay.
It froze on me and I restarted.
Yep, so if we restart the video, maybe. Reload it. Says pause to start a new feed. It's weird, but it's working now. Yeah, okay. You know, this is one of the weirdest things that happens sometimes. Sometimes this darn thing just decides to just lose its tiny mind. And irritatingly, it does happen sometimes, and the technology is just bizarre that way. Let's see. Yeah, looks like it is. Okay. Well, all right. We'll fix it one way or the other, I'm sure. This is one of the joys of doing a live feed. We don't always know if it's going to work or if it's not going to work, but there we are. All right, everybody's back. We're all back. We're all here. We're all fine. How are you? We're fine. How are you? We're all fine here. We're fine. Really, we're fine. I'm not sure what the heck happened. Live streaming. Live the adventure. But I did think it was Facebook may have lost its mind for a moment, and that's okay. It's weird. We are still playing around with the technology here. I do have now a mesh router set up, which is supposed to make it better, but I think sometimes Facebook loses its tiny mind. And that's okay. Last song of this show, and I almost got the lip. You know, it's weird. It's because when I'm just practicing it, and I'm not like, perform. See, even now I can't do it because I'm on camera. See, I can do that. Don't understand it. Slight weapons malfunction. Nothing to see here. That was a boring conversation anyway. Last song, speaking of man versus riff, let's see if it works. You lock down the reactor, exactly. Oh, I love the fact that all of y'all just follow right in on that. You know, that tells me that I am among my people. This last one is Fair's been good to me so far, and I've done this a lot of times, and I've done fairly well at it, and I guarantee absolutely nothing for this performance. Because everything is just bonkers today. It's been bonkers the last couple of days, and it's going to continue to be bonkers until such times it stops being bonkers. But that's okay because, you know, this is the way the world works right now. And to be completely frank, whether or not this is the new normal or just the current weirdness, we're all dealing with the fact that something that we muster ourselves up onto our hind legs, throw clothing on, and travel great distances to do didn't happen. And we got word that Steampunk November has been canceled, and there's a lot of stuff that's not going to happen this year except virtually. And but you know, I've been doing this. I've been performing at fairs and festivals for well over 30 years at this point. 18 of them is Tobias the Adequate. And it's treated me okay. Nowhere to park it, they tell me it's nice. Hit the notes. I live in tents made with thin nylon walls. Someone has sex, well, it's enjoyed by all. They say I'm crazy, but I have a good time. I'm moving slow, but I'll reach notes by 9. Faire has been good to me so far. My costume's made up of burlap and cloth. Takes twice as long to put on than take off. My boots are old, not so quick to pull on. But I gotta wear them to go to the John. Don't quite know what I'll be doing today. The show goes on, so I just gotta play. Faire has been good to me so far. My hat's quite fancy with feathers and felt. Feel like my whole world's hung off my belt. Strap all this stuff on the go at the gate. Yeah, the patrons are out there and man, I can't wait. Put a couple decades into burlap and dust. Gotta keep it going, well it looks like I must. Faire has been good to me so far. See, now normally there'd be like a 3.5-minute guitar solo in here. Sadly, I do not have the capacity to play a 3.5-minute guitar solo, nor do y'all have the patience for it. So I guess I'll just have to play the rest of the song. One more verse. I do this Ren Fair every year. Beat up my body to get a few cheers. How long I'll do this darn thing, I don't know. But if they're gonna hold it, well, I guess I'll go. The play's a thing, and we've all come to play. a few days. Faire has been good to me so far. And so we come sliding in sideways once again at the end of another complex and difficult to explain Troubadork Non-Commute show. Oh, thank y'all for hanging out with me again. It looks like they have in fact split the show into two pieces on Facebook, which is really annoying, but that's technology for you. Do not fear, do not panic, however, because it's still maintained, hopefully, over on the other side of things. We hope. Fingers crossed. If not, well, you know, it's what we do to try to stay sane. Let's talk a little bit about money we got, of course. Ow, my eye. Oh, gosh. PayPal.com/theadequate's the tip jar. And I want to thank Robert and Rick and Emily and Miranda for dropping a couple of bucks in there. The more long-term supporting program for supporting adequacy in our lifetime is at patreon.com/theadequate. Stephen and Rob and Alicia and Relly and BK and Kaylee and Richard and John and Brian and Lorene have all decided that they're going to commit a buck or two to me every month. Now, the $2 a month commitment is also known as the cheapest advertising budget anywhere. And if you look down here, you will actually see that Paper Angel Press and another service, both of whom are publishing companies that Lorene is associated with, get promoted down here on the crawl all the dang time. I've also moved Carpe Diem Comics down there simply because I felt like the credits were getting way too stinking long. But there it is. If you want to put a little more money in, or if you know somebody who has a lot of disposable income and low standards, you can aim them at patreon.com/theadequate. You get previews of songs, you get pictures of what the rig looks like out here that I'm actually recording all this on, and any dollars that go into the bucket because of PayPal or Patreon go right back into the show. So you're literally getting out of it what you put in, I hope. Let me see here. We've got, what else have we got here? The archives are over here. Facebook.com/TobiasTheAdequate and Twitch.tv/TobiasTheAdequate. Also YouTube.com/MPLEGARE. And that's the Troubadork playlist, and I update that about once a week. So we may or may not have it all held together with twine and duct tape and good intentions, but there it is, and there we are. And that's really it. Y'all, it's been another pretty decent show, I think. We had some technological issues, but it looks like those we kind of recovered from fairly kind of sort of okay, and that's good. I want to thank all of y'all for watching. I want to thank those of y'all who are going to watch this later, because I know that I get a lot more views after the fact than I do during the show, because 4:30 is a weird time to do a show. But this is the Non-Commute show, and I do this instead of driving home. And that's my logic, and that's my aesthetic, and that's the weirdness, and there it is. So there it is. Thank y'all for hanging out with me again. We'll do this tomorrow. I will be premiering, I should say, Grandpa's Can of War Ration Spam. I had to remember to send Brett the lyrics, because I promised to do that for him before I did this show. I did it on the show. Y'all have once again been wonderful. You've warmed my heart. Talking with you, even if it's online, adds years to my life. In the middle, the good part. You know, not down at the end where I can't enjoy them, but like in the middle where it's useful. So once again, y'all been really cool. I've been Tobias the Adequate. Thank you for encouraging my behavior. And I will see you next time.